Good evening. My name is Miranda Chang, and I'm going to talk about assessing reading. First, what is reading? We know that reading is a skill that we as teachers expect students to learn. Of course, we know that it can be very difficult due to the grammatical rules, irregular verbs, the tricky letter combinations, and of course, as a second language, we have to help them to develop appropriate content to carry out interpretations accurately. So, assisted reading have four types, which are perceptive, selective, interactive, and extensive. But I am going to talk about just two of them. The first one is interactive reading. We have so many concepts right here. We have it focuses on the interaction between readers and the text, combination of from focus and meaning focus objectives, process of negotiating meaning, identify relevant features lexical, symbolic, grammatical, etc. And of course, interactive reading include tags like close tags, ordering tags, editing tags, and among others. Now, about this point, identify relevant features, we can say that it has objective of retaining the information that is processed. Also, we know that we have to use both knowledge of word structure and existing knowledge to interpret the text they read, are what interactive reading is. So I have some example right here, which is the ordering task. I believe that this task is really important to work with the students as we have a paragraph and they have to scramble the sentences in the correct order that they happened, which means sequence of events. I think that this is important as students can work this as one-on-one or maybe the whole class can participate together. It depends on how the teacher wants to carry out this work, right? This task. But I believe that this is one of the most important tasks as they have to really they have to make a comprehension to order the the sequences of the events. So it's important because they are going to interact between them. Maybe they can exchange also some vocabulary that they understand and maybe the partner understand. So this interactive reading, I believe that this it's one of the important readings that we have to make with our students. Now we have the extensive reading. We have applies to text of more than one page. Top-down processing is assumed for most extensive tasks, and the focus of this activity is the content of the text. So we can say that this extensive is reading large amount of information, right? Um, and the students have to be able to understand the big picture. So the student needs to be able to separate the details and main ideas. I have two tasks that I separate because of the ages. Skimming, which is a process of rapid coverage of reading matter to determine its gist or meaning. I believe that this kind of task we have to make with children to from 10 and go on, 10 years and go on. So this kind of skimming includes this type of questions. What is the main idea of this text? What is the author's purpose in writing the text? What kind of writing is this? What type of writing is this? Okay, so I believe that this kind of a skimming is really important to make with the students to make a really comprehension. And of course, I propose this retell the story for children like 5 or 6 years old to 9 years old. Because as you know, we have to be more dynamic with them. So retell the story, it will be more dynamic, more interesting for them. So retell the story, have the student retell a story in their own words after they finish reading the book. We have a fiction retell rubric. So they have to make the sequence of events, story elements, and vocabulary. They have to include all of these skills in their retell story. because as you know they have to tell all the important events in order, of course, because they have to know what is the beginning, the middle, and the end of the book, right? Because this retell story is like a summarize, right? They also have to include all the important story elements like characters, setting, and of course they are going to use the vocabulary from the text in retell. So in this case, they're going to learn the new vocabulary. They're going to exchange the vocabulary, because maybe some of the students, maybe they didn't notice some word, okay, and they heard the word um, for another partner, for another student. So this retell story, I believe that this is amazing to carry out with the children. In conclusion, reading is a combination of making sense of the words and, of course, using prior knowledge to comprehend text. Thank you.